You would never realise what's actually on the inside. It's really worth having a good close look at this, because this is something you need to understand is possible. And if you follow this system, it becomes a very meaningful way to live, and a way that you can help other people as well.
But there's some unintended consequences that come with industrial agriculture. Resource depletion, pollution, and disruption of rural communities particularly. And so we think we can do better. Agricultural sustainability starts to look at some of these issues, but permaculture really takes it home.
With permaculture, how can we turn this absolute desert, dry, arid land into this? A green oasis, a green paradise in the middle of the desert. This is what we can do with permaculture for humanitarian aid, real, sustainable, smart, ethical humanitarian aid projects. And here I am also with my teacher, my sheikh in permaculture.
So here we are in Wadi Rum at the organic oasis. It's coming up to 5 years old and the fruit trees are producing pretty well. We've got peaches, we've got plums, we've got citrus, we've got grapes coming into flower, we've got pomegranates flowering, we've got figs, we've got apricots, and we've got dates. And those are just the ones I can see here. And this is a landscape that's extremely dry, and yet the swells are hydrating the fruit trees. And our drip irrigation is working in the cropland, so there's quite good vegetables and fruit. It's kind of a test case that proves we can put a sustainable system together for anybody, anywhere, and really make life better for people and teach people how to do this. You wouldn't think this was a good starting point for a garden. Pretty rocky, pretty poor soil. But 7 years ago, that's exactly what that looked like. Now it's an abundant food forest with a whole mixture of species, and it's built its own soil. In just 7 years, with an overstory now of Leucaena and Prosopis giving us that lovely filtered shade, we have olives, carob, pomegranate, guava, bananas, apricot, and grapes as a trellis.
If we could do this in such a very harsh climate, such an arid, dry desert, you can do it anywhere.
Literally anywhere. If you can do it here, you can do it anywhere. I mean, this desert is only, it gets only 70 millimeters of rain a year. It gets quite frosty in winter because we're a bit of a long way inland. Well, that's quite a scene, considering we're in one of the driest deserts in the Middle East. I think it kind of says it all. It's a bit of a testament shot, isn't it?
See how carefully it is designed? It's not just digging swale and putting some trees randomly. Everything here is really well thought of. That's permaculture. Protracted, thoughtful observation as opposed to protracted, thoughtless labor.
The source of wealth is the functional ecosystems. The products and services that we derive from those are derivatives. It's impossible for the derivatives to be more valuable than the source. So we think we want a lot of manufactured goods and more and more and more, and this is a wasteful and not a very effective and certainly not a sustainable way of life. So we need another model. And here's a model which can restore the function. It's been proven to be able to restore hydrological function, to restore fertility. So we have vast areas of degraded lands. There's plenty of room for opportunity. And this could employ millions and millions of people. And their work wouldn't just be about themselves. Their work would be about ensuring that future generations can survive.
There's not too many people in the world, in my view. Most people don't realise they're acting in a very negative way in relation to the environment. We have to turn everything around into a functional relationship. And then we need all the people. We need as many people as we can get right now, and they have to go into action. You can fix all the world's problems in a garden. You can solve them all in a garden. You can solve all your pollution problems and all your supply line needs in a garden. And most people actually today don't actually know that, and that makes most people very insecure.
I like to live on the edge, so I plant mint where you're not supposed to. Why should there be people hungry here? One plant will give you 1,000, 2,000, 20,000 seeds. We have the land to plant them. If you look down the streets here, you see all this brown grass and grass, when you can be feeding people. I don't call them food deserts, I call them food prisons, because you literally have to escape and break out of these situations to get anything healthy. People ask me, why did I do this? What was my inspiration? I'm like, well, cancer was my inspiration. Diabetes was my inspiration. Asthma, I was inspired. We are eating garbage. We have no skin in the game. We don't know where our food comes from, nor do we care. We go and we talk into a box, and then we drive 20 feet, and then they hand us a bag that's supposed to be food. That's all the skin in the game we have.
This is my front yard, and this is the first area where I decided to take a stand and plant something useful instead of grass. I knew that grass was costing me too much time, too much water, and now too much money. It would never look that good, and I decided to make some changes that were pretty radical. My lawn fell victim to 6 inches of mulch. Because if you can grow food, it's empowering. In fact, I believe growing food is one of the most dangerous occupations on the face of this earth, because you're in danger of becoming free.
What we're looking at here is actually a neighbor's backyard. And this is very similar to many of my neighbors that I could see into their backyard. They might just have rocks in there, might just have like a patch of weeds or nothing growing, because people have a belief that you can't grow food in the desert. There's always a way to grow food no matter where you live, whether you're gonna do it in the backyard like I'm gonna show you guys what I do, or whether you're gonna grow, sprouts and microgreens inside your kitchen so that you can eat more food that you grew and that you created instead of buying food from the supermarket. So everything I'm growing is edible, and this provides food for me and hopefully my family one day. So let me go ahead and give you guys a tour of what you can do in just a small residential lot.
I'm sorry. I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful. Millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty.